Ladies and gentlemen, this is your WWE NXT review on Tuesday night, July 13th, 2020. I am Joseph Conlon here on the Big Fight Field channel. Thank you for tuning in to the NXT review. I am here always on Tuesday nights with my co-host, my friend, Cameron Johnson. I thought tonight's show was it was okay. Uh, Great American Bash last week was obviously a great show. Tonight was basically the fallout of last week's show. I thought it was an okay show. We had the main event, as you guys could see in my background, Karrion Kross versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. So we had that as the main event tonight. Um, and a whole other stuff was just basically filler for the show. Didn't really, but Cam, what is going on, my man? I hope you had a great birthday this past Sunday, and I see you're supporting Maki Ito tonight.
I am supporting Maki Ito. I got the Maki Ito cutest in the world shirt for my birthday. I'm a big Maki Ito fan. I hope Tony Khan or Triple H calls her phone pretty. I hope Triple H or Tony Khan pick up their phone and call this woman because I think this woman could be huge. But I want to thank you for the birthday wish. I want to thank everybody who wished me happy birthday on Sunday. It was very good. It was a very good day. It was a very good day for me. And overall, NXT was. I don't want to say NXT was a bad show because I didn't think it was bad, and I like some of the. I like some of the stuff they're doing here. Some of the stuff they did here tonight really did pique my interest, and I'm intrigued. But this is it's a whole hum show. I was bored throughout. I was bored for a majority of it. Those are my thoughts on NXT pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I really tried going into it. I'm like, this is a one-match show. The only match that I've really possibly care about on this show is Gargano Kross for the NXT title. And, I guess the breakout match, first round of breakout tournament started tonight. So, I mean, that was heavily advertised. I thought that was good. But besides those two things, I thought it was eh. We got some other stuff, some new programs. We got some negatives. We got some things I did not like on the show, which is probably going to be one of the first things we talk about. But once again, thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for joining us here tonight on the channel, man. Last night we did Monday Night Raw, so if you guys have not already, be sure to go ahead and check out last night's Raw review up on the channel. Last show in the Thunderdome, we're going back to live fans Friday night for SmackDown, so that's going to be big. But let's dive into NXT. We started tonight's show with Dakota Kai and Ember Moon. Start off tonight's show. I feel like these two women are facing each other either every week or every 2 weeks. I feel like we've seen this match a couple times in NXT before, man.
Oh yeah, we definitely have. We definitely have. This has to be like the fourth. This has to be like the fourth or fifth time these women have actually wrestled against each other.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, hey, it's not as bad as Ember Moon and Shotzi versus The Way for the women's tag team championships almost every single week for the tag team titles. By the way, just to let you guys know, earlier today it was confirmed on WWE.com that Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart are officially on the SmackDown brand, so they are called up. So, way to waste a return. You had Tegan Nox come back last week and cost away the women's tag team titles. 2 nights later, she gets called up to SmackDown. So, not like I'm upset, but Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell lost those titles for no reason last week. And Tegan got her first name back. Friday night, they called her Nox, but on WWE.com, she's now going by Tegan Nox. And Shotzi Blackheart, poor Shotzi Blackheart, is being called Shotzi. Thoughts on that?
I'm not even mad at this point. I'm not even mad at this point. This is what they do. This is what Vince McMahon does. He calls somebody up from NXT, and he either cuts off the last name or the first name. We've seen this plenty of times. Antonio Cesaro, he gets called Cesaro, which I think was the better. Which I think was the better. Alexander Rusev, he gets called up. We call him, Alexander Rusev. He gets called up. The Alexander gets taken away from his name. He's known just as Rusev. It's something that Buddy Murphy gets called up. He just gets called Murphy. Although I would argue with Buddy Murphy, at least it was for the better. This is something that they do. Give it a couple. This is something that they do. Give it a couple weeks, give it a couple weeks, a month. I guarantee you, you'll be used to it. And calling Shotzi Blackheart Shotzi. So this is what they do. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid that they cut off people's names. But this is what they do. This is what they do. Give it a couple weeks, a month. You'll be used to it. So I can't even be mad at this because this is what they do. I'm just used to it.
Friday night I wasn't mad about it. I was mad about Tegan Nox just being called Nox. That's ridiculous. So the fact that she got Tegan back in it, I hope. That's at least what it said on WWE.com. Thank God. But before we actually dive into the show, Toni Storm is getting called up. They played a vignette for her Friday night. Can you imagine if Vince McMahon and Bruce take away Toni and she goes by Storm, like she's a Marvel character?
She gonna get sued both. I can't wait for that to happen. And then Marvel threatens to sue, so they just call her Toni. I can't wait for that to happen.
No, they're gonna call her Storm. You watch, man. But Dakota Kai and Ember Moon, good match. But I mean, we've seen this match 4 or 5 times now, and I just really couldn't bring myself to care that much. Dakota Kai got the win, which I was shocked by. She won clean, too. She won with the Kai kick. She had Ember Moon hung up on the top rope, and she pinned her clean, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. And Dakota Kai pinned Ember Moon. So I thought this was a good match. Now, here's my problem. Here is my problem with my most criticism on the night. After the match, Xia Li's music plays. She comes walking to the ring. She asks for a NXT Women's Championship match against Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel says, "You want an NXT Women's Championship match?" She takes off the belt. She raises up the belt high, and she says, "You got it." And then, right before the main event, they pop up a graphic. Next week's going to be Xia Li versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. And I mean, this literally has Bruce Pritchard fingerprints all over it, man. Since when did Triple H get influences from Bruce Pritchard to have Xia Li walk down there, challenge a match, and then poof, right before the main event, they throw up a graphic that we're going to get an NXT Women's Championship match. Like, I mean, this match doesn't even make sense right now because, one, they are both heels. Who are we supposed to cheer for? This is like Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Who exactly are we supposed to cheer for here? And two, both these women are riding high momentum right now. Raquel Gonzalez has been booked like a beast. And Xia Li, I mean, she's been pushed heavily since January. And, she's got a lot of momentum going for herself right now. And I feel like her taking a loss, Raquel Gonzalez taking a loss, even though I don't think that's going to happen, that's a bad thing. I don't want to see that. I don't like the fact that we're getting this match next week, to be honest. This match right now makes no sense. And the way they went about it, just having Xia Li Hey, can I have a match? Yeah, well, I'll give you a title match. Poof. This has this has Bruce Pritchard fingerprints all over it, man. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. That's the worst thing that happened for me tonight with this show. But what do you think about the match and this match that we're getting next week with Xia Li and Raquel Gonzalez for the women's championship?
I thought the match between Dakota and Ember was a. I thought it was very good. No surprise there. Dakota Kai is a very good professional wrestler. Ember Moon is a very good professional wrestler. So you put these two women in the ring together, the match is going to be very good. It shocked me that Dakota picked up the win here, just because I thought this was going to build more to the story, built more to the story. And from the way I can see things going here, I thought the way I could see things going here, with Dakota Kai taking the fall at Great American Bash and Dakota Kai losing a lot of matches to people like, and Dakota losing a lot of matches recently. I thought the story they're trying to tell here is that, I thought the story they're going to tell here is that Raquel is going to get sick and tired of Dakota always losing, and she's going to look at Dakota as the weak link, and she's going to beat the piss out of Dakota. She's going to beat the piss out of Dakota, setting up an NXT Women's Championship match. But so it shocked me that Ember Moon won here. So it shocked me excuse me. Shocked me that Dakota won. Excuse me. Shocked me that Dakota won. But in terms of Raquel and Xia getting a match next week, I think I'm with you. I think this is a mistake. I don't think either woman should be. I don't think either woman should be losing right now. Xia Li has a lot of momentum. Xia Li has a lot of momentum. They've been pushing her hard since January. Raquel Gonzalez is the NXT Women's Champion. I would not take that championship off her just yet. So they're doing this match next week. I think this is a mistake because Xia Li is not winning the title next week. But I think it's a mistake to have Xia Li lose. But I think it's a mistake to have Xia Li lose next week unless Mercedes Martinez is going to cost Xia Li the match and they're going to keep that feud going. Unless Mercedes costs Xia Li the match and they keep that feud going, I don't really know. But I think this is a mistake because Xia Li. Look, I'm a big believer in Xia Li's future. I have stock brought into Xia Li. I think Xia Li is going to be huge in NXT for the women's division, but I don't think she's ready yet. I think the last two matches proved that she needs a little bit more time. Before challenging for the championship. I understand why they're doing it because these two women have a lot of momentum, but I think it's a mistake because I don't think either woman should be losing. And there's not a shot in hell Raquel is losing the NXT Women's Championship next week. So I don't like it. I don't like it. It just really doesn't make sense unless Mercedes costs Xia Li the match. But yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this.
They're gonna have to justify a way to have Mercedes cost Xia Li the match and have Xia Li come out strong, looking good. I don't know how they go about it, and I don't even think Xia Li should be even getting a championship match until the end of the year or beginning of next year. She's not ready right now. She's still growing as a new character. This is her in the CWC, and we people in the IWC, we don't really know how to feel about her right now. So, I think this is a mistake, and I think they should have waited a few more months and then give her the big match. I feel like they're doing it way too soon, man. And then I don't see Raquel Gonzalez losing next week. I'm with you, but I don't like it. There's a big mistake. I think the match will be good, but this match is happening way too early from my perspective. But next we had Tyler Rust of Diamond Mine go up against Bobby Fish. And if you went up and did whatever for 2 minutes, you missed the entire match. I expected this match to go way longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And this was very short. I don't know what is going on with Bobby Fish, but this guy has no direction whatsoever. I guess he's going to feud with Diamond Mine for a bit because after the match, the faction they attacked Bobby Fish. Kushida came out for the save, and he said, "You guys are on my time." And next week we're getting a tag team match with Bobby Fish and Kushida versus Roddy Strong and Tyler Rust. I don't really know how to feel about all of this, bro. I don't know how to feel.
Well, in terms of Bobby Fish not, well, in terms of Bobby Fish not having any direction, in terms of Bobby Fish not having any direction, there's a reason for that. There's a reason he has no direction. The guy is a job guy. Look, I like Bobby Fish. I do. I think he could be doing a lot more. But without the Undisputed Era and without Kyle O'Reilly, he's a job guy. He's going nowhere. He is going nowhere. He is going nowhere on NXT or the main roster. Plus, the guy's 44 years old, which was a shock to me that he's 44. But the guy's 44 years old, so the guy's 44 years old. He's on the tail end of his career. Now he's on the tail end of his career, so he's going to be used to help get other guys over. So he's going to be used to help get other guys over. But I fear this would happen with Bobby Fish. The moment they broke up Undisputed Era and they took Kyle O'Reilly away from Bobby Fish, the guy's going nowhere. The guy's going nowhere. I hate to say it, but that's just. I hate to say it because I think Bobby Fish is very talented, but the guy's going absolutely nowhere without either of those two things. In terms of this match here, yeah, I'm with you. I was very disappointed. This match only went 2 minutes. I was very disappointed. This match only went 2 minutes. And also, why are Diamond, we still don't know why Diamond Mine are together. We don't know why Malcolm Bivens put this group of guys together. We haven't had a promo. There hasn't been a promo yet from Malcolm Bivens explaining why he put Diamond Mine together, or a promo from Roger Strong explaining why he joined these guys. We don't know why these guys are together. But I think Bobby Fish and Roger Strong feuding until Roddy gets his hands on Kushida. Until Roddy gets his hands on Kushida, I think that's the way they're going to go here, and I think that's the way they're going. I think that's the best way for them to go. But Bobby Fish is going nowhere. He's just not. Bobby Fish is going nowhere. So I hate to say it, but that's just the unfortunate truth.
Saray had a one-on-one match, not against Toni Storm, but against Gigi Darling, and that is Priscilla Kelly. And I remember her from the Jericho Cruise against Britt Baker, and I was impressed by her on that night. So this kind of caught my interest a little bit that we would see her in this match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was doing a little channel flipping a little bit between this and the All-Star game during this match. I completely missed out on Mandy Rose. I saw the finish, but I first off, I was watching, and I'm like, who is that standing on the stage? And after the match, I look on Twitter, and I'm like, holy shit, that was Mandy Rose standing up there watching the match. What the hell is she doing here? But Saray gave a devastating drop kick to Gigi Darling. She had her neck flailing back. It looked pretty bad, man. It looked like a really bad drop kick in a good way. Saray got the win. I don't know where she goes either. I don't know why Mandy Rose is here. I'm confused, to be honest. But last time we saw Mandy Rose, man, she was getting her makeup done last night on Monday Night Raw. And now tonight she's on NXT. So I guess they just dropped the whole feud with Natty and Tamina, which now makes it, 2 tag teams on the main roster with Natty and Tamina and Shotzi and Tegan Knox.
Back to square one.
Man, you might as well just burn those titles, dude. I'm so over it, but I'm confused about all of this, to be honest.
Mandy Rose. It feels like with Mandy Rose and Toni Storm. It feels like what they did here. It feels like what they did here was simple. It feels like what they did here was simple. We're obviously going to get Tony Storm, Miss Ray, and then Vince McMahon. Then Vince McMahon fucked up everything and called up Tony Storm to the main roster. So it feels like called up Tony Storm to the main roster. So it feels like Mandy Rose is the replacement idea here. It feels like Mandy Rose is the replacement idea for Saray. And look, if we're getting Mandy Rose back in NXT, I think that's only a good thing. First off, Mandy Rose should be counting her blessings. Mandy Rose should be counting. She should be thanking whatever guy she believes in that she's not that she's back in that she's back in NXT. She's back in NXT. I would be very happy if you told me I get to go from If you told me I get to go from Monday Night Raw back to NXT, I would be very happy. But Mandy Rose, her being back in NXT, if she's back full time with NXT, she's back full time with NXT. I think this is a great decision, bringing Mandy Rose back down to NXT. Mandy Rose is somebody who I think has a lot of potential. I thought this since 2019. She has a lot of potential. And quite frankly, it baffles my mind how a woman that looks like Mandy Rose is not how she's been on the main roster and they haven't done anything with her. You would think she's Vince McMahon's type. She's blonde and she's hot as she's blonde and she's hot as hell. You would think Vince McMahon would look at her and go, "This woman is going to be a star." But they really haven't done. A whole lot with Mandy Rose. So putting her back in NXT, I think this is a great idea. I think Mandy Rose has a lot of potential, and if we know anybody that can get some potential out of people, this Triple H and NXT. So I think this is the right decision here, and her feuding with Saray. Let's see what Mandy Rose can do. I think Mandy Rose is decent in the. I think she's decent in the ring. Her being in there with Saray, Saray's a very good wrestler. Her being there with Saray, let's see what Mandy Rose can do for this feud. But this felt very random. And I hope we get to see more Priscilla Kelly on NXT TV. I hope this isn't a one-off where we see her and then she's not on TV again. I hope we see more Priscilla Kelly on TV because I think she could be something in that women's division. But yeah, I'm intrigued. They've got my intrigue up. So why the hell is Mandy Rose down there? So I'm intrigued.
If I got anything out of this, the one thing I have for hope is that NXT is going to be in the draft this year. And they should. Yeah, they should be in this year's draft. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. They should be in the draft. Anything we can do to get some fresh faces, on Raw and SmackDown and really shake those shows up, so we don't have to see the same fucking matches each week. I think is the best. I think is the best thing. So having NXT involved in this draft is absolutely a great thing. Johnny Gargano was on Busted Open Radio. He said the way that talent get called up from NXT to Raw and SmackDown, he says he doesn't see any reason at all why talent can't go from Raw and SmackDown back to NXT. And, Finn Balor did it. We saw Finn Balor do it. We saw Ember Moon do it. We see Mandy Rose do it. If NXT's in this draft, it's a good thing. Matter of fact, NXT's in this draft. Take half the roster. Not for at least on Monday Night Raw. Take half the Monday Night roster and put them back in NXT. That's what I do. That's what I would do.
Seriously.
But yeah, NXT being in the draft, I think is a great thing.
Keith Lee, where are you? Dominic Dijakovic, where are you? We don't need T-Bar anymore. We need Dijakovic back in NXT. Who else is on SmackDown or Raw that's not being used right now? Drew Gulak. He would be great in NXT, man. Where's him?
Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander. Send the Viking Raiders back down there. Shit.
Let's get the War Raiders versus MSK for the tag team titles. That's something I want to see.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Shit. Shit. Here's another one. If you're not gonna turn Naomi heel and put Naomi with the Usos and put Naomi with Roman Reigns and the Usos, if you're not gonna do anything with Naomi, put her in NXT. I think Naomi in NXT would be great. Put her back down there. Shit.
She's the kind of veteran they would need down there. They have Io Shirai, but she's been down there the entire time. I think Naomi down in NXT would be a great move. So I really hope NXT's involved in this year's draft, and if they're not, it's a complete miss. It really is. But we're gonna move on here to the next match. We have Santos Escobar one-on-one with Dexter Lumis. Man, is it me, or has it been ever since Dexter Lumis has been in this love story with Indy Hartwell? He feels like everybody else on the NXT roster. He's lost his spookiness. He's lost his uniqueness. The guy is just not the same anymore, man. It's sad. It really is. Even in the beginning of 2020, this guy was freaking money. The end of 2020, and the feud with Cameron Grimes, the guy was money. And, it looks clear as day that he was going to beat Johnny Gargano to win the North America Championship, and they went with Bronson Reed instead. And, man, I don't know what happened to Dexter Lumis, to be honest. I really don't. You want to say something about it?
I don't know. I haven't the Loomis. I don't know. I haven't the Loomis either. They're trying. I think with this storyline, they're trying to make Dexter Loomis feel a little bit more human. They're trying to make him feel a little bit more human by him being in a love triangle, and by him being in this love storyline with Indy Hartwell. But I don't think everybody on the roster needs to feel human, and I think that's the same way with Dexter Loomis. I don't think Loomis really needs to feel human. Plus, also, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't remember the last time Dexter Loomis won a match on NXT. I don't remember the last time he won a match on NXT. The dude feels like a job. The dude feels like a job guy at this point. I don't know the last match he won.
I'm right there with you. I legit don't know the last time. Maybe against Austin Theory, but my God, that was like 4 months ago. I don't know what happened to this guy, man, but he fought Santos Escobar tonight. Very good match. Santos Escobar is an awesome professional wrestler. I love Santos Escobar. He took down Dexter Lumis tonight. Legado del Fantasma was out there to help him. He hits the Phantom Driver on Lumis, and then Escobar gets the win. And at the end, once Escobar and Legado del Fantasma are walking up the stage, out comes Hit Row, and we get a face-to-face confrontation between Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row. Man, take my money right now. If we're going to get a feud, this could be legit. I don't think they could drag this out this long. But how would you feel about Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row and War Games?
Sign me up. Sign me up. That sounds like a ton of fun. That sounds like so much fun. Sign me up, man. Sign me up. That sounds like a lot of fun.
But it looks like we're getting a North American title feud with Escobar and Swerve Scott. And the last time these guys feuded was over the Cruiserweight title, where Swerve was the challenger and Escobar was the champion. Now it looks like the roles are going to be reversed. Escobar is going to be challenging Swerve for the North American Championship, and now Swerve's in this Hit Row gimmick with Ashanti, Brianna Brandy, and AJ Francis. I love this, man. This might, if we actually get this feud, outside of what's going on with Kross and Samoa Joe, which we'll talk about at the end, this might be up there with my favorite thing on the entire show. And of course, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, which we're going to talk about next. This might be my favorite thing. What about you?
I love the what's it called? I'm trying to think. See, I lost track of thought. I'm sorry. I love the Swerve. I love the Swerve Escobar tease. I think that's great. And in terms of the Cameron Grimes, LA Knight Butler stuff, I thought this is absolutely fantastic, man. I thought these segments were funny as hell tonight. I enjoyed them. First off, does Cameron Grimes not know what a damn shirt is? Why is every time does he not know what a t-shirt is? Like every time you see Cameron Grimes, he's shirtless. He has on no shirt. He has on no shirt, which is just completely mind-boggling to me. But hey, he looks good. If he had that physique, he looks good. If I looked like Cameron Grimes or stuff, I wouldn't wear a shirt either. So I don't blame Cameron Grimes for not wearing one. But I think these segments are great.
Oh man, let me tell you something. The one ending at the end when LA Knight was mowing when he told Cameron Grimes to go mow the lawn, and LA Knight was LA Knight came back, and Cameron Grimes was just sitting by the pool, and he said that he was done mowing the lawn. LA Knight called him. He's like, "Who's that mowing the lawn?" And Cameron Grimes was like, "Oh, I got a kid. His name's Noah." And he went to pay Noah, and Knight slapped the money out of his hand. And then Grimes went to go brush the money, and he accidentally knocked LA Knight into the pool. Man, that shit had me laughing my ass off, man. My God, was that funny. These segments tonight were awesome. And I knew these were going to be very good segments. Grimes and Knight have that great chemistry together. They have Grimes calling Knight Mr. Knight or Sir. Freaking funny stuff, man. It's all funny. And you know what? I'm all for it. These are going to be great. I want to see what happens next week now. Is he going to get punished for bumping LA Knight into a pool?
I'm in agreement with you, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for these. And see, Cameron, and see, once again, I'm going to continue to, I know I say this on your show every week. I know I say this on the show every week, but I'm going to continue to say it. Cameron Grimes is proving to be the type of performer that Vince McMahon is going to fall in love with on the main roster, hopefully, when his time comes, right? Because not only can he be not only can he be a great babyface and a great heel, he can do the goofy comedy that WWE loves to do. And this is a prime example of that. And this is a prime example, and these segments were a prime example of that. And that's why when I think Cameron Grimes gets caught up to the main roster, the type of success Matt Riddle is having so far on the main roster, and Matt Riddle I think is having a very good main roster run so far, just in terms of how much he's on TV and how he's being portrayed as, an upper mid-card guy. I think that's going to be Cameron Grimes. I think that is going to be Cameron Grimes. The role Matt Riddle's in, I can see Cameron Grimes settling into that role just nicely. He's settling into that role just nicely, man. I'm going to continue to say it.
I hope you're right, man. You say it every week, and I say the same thing. I hope you're right, because if the rumors are true, Vince McMahon is not looking for professional wrestlers. Vince McMahon is looking for characters.
Cameron Grimes is a character.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes is a character, and he's showing more of his character every single week. That funny comedic character, just like Matt Riddle has, man. So, but we got to finish off with the LA Knight stuff first. We know we're gonna get more stuff with LA Knight and the Butler and all that. It's going to be great television, man. It is going to be great. I loved it. First week was a big success, I think, for Cameron Grimes serving as LA Knight's Butler. We had the first match of the NXT Breakout Tournament. We had Duke Hudson versus Ikeman Hero. And I actually really like this guy. Number one, I think tonight was the first time ever I've ever seen someone wrestle in a jacket. Have you ever seen someone wrestle in a jacket the entire time in a wrestling match?
No, I have not seen somebody wrestle in a jacket the entire time. I'll be honest with you, man. That kind of pissed me off. You sit there wrestling in a jacket. I'm like, what the hell you got? You sit there wrestling in the jacket. I'm like, what the hell do you still have your jacket on? Take it off. So that kind of pissed me off. Actually, I was happy Duke Hudson won. To be honest with you, that's just a pet peeve of mine. Him wrestling in a fucking jacket. That was just a little nitpick, a little pet peeve of mine.
Oh, come on, dude. It was funny. It was good. It was good. The match was good, too. He lost, but it was the right move. Duke Hudson, Brendan Vink. He's a favorite. He's a favorite to win this breakout tournament. Guy looked good with the victory, and he's moving on to the next round. So, what did you think about this match? And your boy Ike Man Hero.
I thought the match. I thought the match was a good. I thought it was a good showcase match between the guys here. Duke Hudson, or Brendan Vink, whatever you want to call him, picks up the win. Picks up the win as expected. But Ike Manjiro, I think he could be something. Ike Manjiro, I think he could be something. I think he could be something in NXT. So I'm curious to see. Also, I'm curious to see his character progression and what he does. What he does in NXT moving forward. But I thought this was a fun little showcase match. Duke Hudson picked up the win as expected. And so, yeah.
Listen, man. When we get back to Full Sail crowds for NXT every week, mark my words. This guy is going to be over. I'm telling you right now. Remember this. Ike Manjiro is going to be over at Full Sail University. Do you agree?
I can see that happening. I can see him being over. I can see him being over with Full Sail. He has that fun. He has a very fun personality. He has a very fun personality. So I can see him getting over at Full Sail.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter went up against the Robert Stone brand. I'm not even going to talk about the match. The match really didn't mean anything. Casey and Kaden Carter got the win, but after the match, Robert Stone got his ass kicked once again. We've seen it by EO, Rhea Ripley. Didn't Rhea Ripley dump him in the dumpster one time?
He did.
Yeah.
She did.
Shotzi Blackheart ran him over with a tank. And now this dude is getting embarrassed by Aaliyah. Aaliyah turned on Robert Stone, slapped him in the face, started punching him, kicked him in the gut, and she turned on the Robert Stone brand, but she was getting cheered very loudly. So, good for Aaliyah, I guess. But this poor dude, Robert Stone, has done absolutely nothing ever since he came to WWE. And I don't mean to be negative right here, but whenever we get the next batch of releases in the WWE, hopefully not for the remainder of the year, but whenever we do, if this guy were to get released, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. But what are your thoughts about all of this, the segment? And we also had the backstage segment with Frankie Monet and Mandy Rose.
Well, in terms of first off, Robert Stone, he done had a rough run in WWE so far, man. He has, man. Rhea Ripley done beat his ass. Shotzi Blackheart, Rhea Ripley done beat him. Rhea Ripley done beat him up. Shotzi Blackheart, whenever she sees him, she runs over his foot. Now this happening. Now this happening. My man, now this happening. Robert Stone been going through it so far in NXT. So he been going through it so far in NXT. So I hope he gets. I hope something good happens to him. I feel bad for Robert Stone. But in terms of Frankie Monet now being, kind of like the leader of the Robert Stone brand, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like Frankie Monet gathering herself a nice little. I kind of like Frankie Monet gathering herself a nice little entourage, a nice little posse, herself gathering a nice little entourage, a nice little posse. It fits the character, so I think it makes sense. So I think it makes sense. But Aaliyah, we talk about Robert Stone. Are they ever gonna do anything with Aaliyah in NXT? She's been there. She's been there forever. She's been there forever, and they haven't done jack shit with this woman. They haven't done anything with this woman. She's a jobber. She's a jobber that everybody beats. So you talk about the next batch of releases, Robert Stone being on there. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaliyah's there too, because they have not done shit. They have not done anything with this woman. They haven't done jack shit with this woman since she's been in NXT. She's been in NXT for good 5-6 years. So yeah, I haven't done anything with her.
I don't know, man, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care about her that much. Like, there's no reason for me to care about her at all. So, you know what? I know no disrespect or anything, but I just don't find a reason to care about her at all. So that's me. Like, you might care about her. You might want her to be the next women's champion. Who knows?
I know. I don't want her to be the next women's champion.
Oh man, I'm just messing with you. But gonna get to the main event. The main event of tonight's show. We all know Johnny Gargano, Karrion Kross, NXT champion. Samoa Joe was the special guest referee. This match was great. I loved the match. This match kind of had like a Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan dynamic to it. Gargano, I felt like he got a good amount of offensive moves. You think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You got a good amount of offense on Kross.
Yeah, I would have had Kross absolutely destroy him because that's what realistically would have happened. But hey, Kross won clean. I mean, I did not. Everybody thought oh, Johnny Gargano is gonna win. This is it for Kross. I'm like, no, it's not. Karrion Kross is not losing to Johnny Gargano. It was just not happening. I can't comprehend that happening. And it just does not make sense at all. And it's not really realistic. So Kross wins after Gargano goes for the final heartbeat DDT. Kross kicks out. Johnny goes for the super kick. Kross clotheslines him devastatingly, and then he gives him an elbow to the back of the head, a suplex, over the head suplex, and Karrion Kross pins Johnny Gargano clean, and he gets in the face of Samoa Joe after the match. The intense stare down, and then Samoa Joe turns around, and Kross puts Samoa Joe to sleep to end tonight's show, man. Very, very shocking. Samoa Joe gets choked out by Kross, and Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross seems to be a new feud for the NXT Championship going into the next takeover in August, which I hope is in front of a live crowd, because that match, I'm sorry, that match does not deserve to be in the CWC. That's a big enough match where you want that match selling out a big arena of 10,000 plus people on an NXT takeover. That's a big draw, I think. That Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross for the NXT title, that's a big deal, and I feel like that match could get people interested into what happens in NXT the next couple weeks. So I thought this was a great match. No way was Johnny Gargano going to win this match, nor should he have won. So I'm glad they actually kept the title on Kross. It keeps Kross in NXT right now for the time being until the draft comes. Once the draft comes, Karrion Kross, see you later, out of NXT. So we're going to get him versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. What do you think about all of this? The match with Gargano, and then the attack on Samoa Joe. And I actually thought Regal was going to come out. We talked about this earlier. I actually thought Regal was going to come out, going to try to take him off. He's like, you know what, Kross? You won't get off of Samoa Joe. I'm stripping you of the NXT Championship. That's what I thought was going to happen. But we did not get that. Karrion Kross is still the NXT champion, and he did not get stripped tonight, which I thought he would. So, Mr. Johnson, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I thought this. I'm in agreement with you. I thought this is very. I'm in agreement with you. I thought this was a very good match. And look, I'm in agreement with you. Karrion Kross should not have lost the NXT Championship, just because it's hard for me to see Johnny Gargano beating Karrion Kross, even if this was 2018 Johnny Gargano. Well, in 2018 Johnny Gargano, we know 2018 Johnny Gargano is the best babyface in the world. It's just like, even if it was 2018 Johnny Gargano, I would have had a hard time buying into Gargano being the one to beat, and Gargano being the one to beat Karrion Kross. But I thought this was a very good match. Now, I thought they got you with a couple of near falls there that made you go, I like the near falls they did in this match, but for the most part, Karrion Kross beat the crap out of Johnny Gargano for a good majority of it. Exactly how it should have gone. I'm in agreement with you. The finish shocked me, not because Karrion Kross won, but because I thought Samoa Joe I thought Joe was getting involved with the finish. I thought it was going to be Kross. I thought they were going to do something where Kross and Joe were arguing, and Kross pushed Joe, and that was going to lead to Samoa Joe choking out Karrion Kross. But they went the opposite way with it, and they had Kross choke out Joe. Which was a surprise. And them doing Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe for the NXT title, I think is the right decision. Samoa Joe being the one to dethrone Karrion Kross, I think is also the right decision. Just because you look at, who's left? Realistically, who's left in NXT for Karrion Kross to lose the NXT Championship to? Kyle O'Reilly. I like Kyle O'Reilly, but I don't think Kyle O'Reilly's a main event guy. So scratch Kyle O'Reilly off that list. Johnny Gargano, I don't think would have been believable. Plus, he's ran through him. Tommaso Ciampa was doing the tag team thing with Thatcher, so it wasn't going to be him. Pete Dunne, okay, Pete Dunne, okay, I can see the argument for Pete Dunne being made. Same thing with Adam Cole. I can see the argument for Adam Cole and Pete Dunne being the one to dethrone Karrion Kross. Bronson Reed's got one foot out the door. He's about to get caught up to the main roster. People like Swerve, Escobar, and Cameron Grimes, they're doing other stuff right now. And LA Knight, Dexter Lumis, I don't think that would have worked. So I don't think that would have worked. So you look at the landscape of NXT right now. Samoa Joe's the most realistic option to take the championship off Kross. And I think he's the best option. Just because, again, you look at what the NXT roster is doing. Who else is left? Who else is left to take the championship off Kross if it's not going? If you're not going the Pete Dunne route and the Adam Cole route.
Where's Walter?
What? Oh yeah, that's right. It could be Walter, but I don't know what. It could be Walter, but I don't know what Walter's doing right. It could be Walter, but I don't know what Walter's doing. So if it's not going to be Walter. So if it's not going to be Walter Cole or Kross, Walter Cole or Dunn, what other option do you have in NXT?
Nobody.
Exactly, you don't have nobody else. So them putting the championship on Joe is probably the best thing they could do right now, because he's the most realistic guy. Because he's probably the most realistic guy to beat Kross. So there's nobody else left. So they're gonna have to go back to Joe. And Joe being NXT champion, I don't mind that at all. It's like we're about to get Samoa Joe as a 3-time NXT champion, and I don't mind that at all.
And to top it off, that they have actually already teased a number of matches with Samoa Joe. Karrion Kross is obviously going to happen. Adam Cole has been teased against Samoa Joe, and so is Pete Dunne has been teased to go up against Samoa Joe. And are you kidding me? Those are 2 legit dream matches right there. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Who the fuck would not want to see those 2 matches? Joe and Cole, Joe and Dunne? Are you kidding me? Take my money right there. It's argument over.
Yeah.
But Karrion Kross is the NXT champion. He is still the champion. And he laid out Samoa Joe at the end of tonight's show. Ladies and gentlemen, that is wrapping up tonight's NXT review here on the Big Fight Field channel. I thank you all for joining the channel here tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got some great content coming up this week, man. We We got AEW Fighter Fest tomorrow night with Wesley Williams. Big show, man. Sold out. Sold out in Austin, Texas tomorrow night. That crowd is going to be on fire. I cannot wait for tomorrow night's show. We got the coffin match, Ethan Page, Darby Allin. We got Ricky Starks, Brian Cage. Should be a good show, man. Should be a good show. We got Money in the Bank preview predictions. Speaking of that, my man Cam, who is walking out the men's and women's Money in the Bank winners this year?
For the men's Money in the Bank, I think Big E. For the men's Money in the Bank, I think Big E has to be the early favorite. I think either Big E or Drew McIntyre have to be the early favorite. And in terms of the women, I'm still in belief that Sasha Banks is being added to Money in the Bank this Friday, and Sasha Banks is walking out Sasha Banks is walking out with that briefcase. If not Sasha, then Alexa, I think, is the other obvious choice. So Big E and then Sasha or Alexa.
All right, you heard it from here from Cameron Johnson. So be sure to tune into that Thursday preview and predictions for Money in the Bank and the rest of the other videos that are going to be happening this week as well. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's NXT show. Hit the like button if you like what myself and Cameron Johnson had to say about tonight's NXT show. And then go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Conlon_Joseph. And Cam, where can they follow you on your socials?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101 and make sure you subscribe to the CNE podcast make sure you subscribe to the CNE podcast on all platforms. Not only do you get to hear an interview with me and Escobar interviewing WWE legend Stacy Keibler, but also this week on the CNE podcast, it is a big WWE draft special in honor of the draft. Raw, SmackDown, NXT all get new rosters. They all get new rosters at the head and all get new rosters behind me, Escobar, his Uncle Kyle, and the very controversial, but also a very good friend, DJ Storm. So if that sounds like something that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the CNE podcast on all platforms. That episode should be up this weekend.
Ooh, that sounds like a good one, man. That sounds like a fire episode of the CNE podcast. But guys, thank you for joining us here tonight. Hope you enjoyed the review. And finally, hope you have a good night. Stay safe, man. And as always, stay classy.